Just be clear, there is a 0% chance Stag doesn't have detailed notes. I don't feel like that's going to be an accurate description of what we did, so take it away, Stag.
The shortest amount of notes, half a page. So, last session, we come to racing towards the airships. The dragon popped out of the temple. The priest was a ancient amethyst dragon who was angry and wanted the orb back.
Recording in progress.
Well, that's recorded. And we beat the dragon onto the boats, and we were trying to rip the boats away. Stag was able to yank their boat away, but Turgon was having a little trouble pulling their boat and just got blasted by the dragon's breath twice.
Yes.
And to the point where the ship just exploded underneath them as it was falling. And the Asterix was sailing away, battering the dragon with all their weapons. They see the ship going down, so we start to turn back towards them, get as close as we can. And as the ship is crumbling, Turgon runs and jumps from flaming debris to flaming debris and flying through the air, landing and catching on the side of the boat.
You cast
Somehow.
a featherfall.
Yeah. I was giving you the credit without giving Stag the spell. You made an amazing leap. And then we swooped down and caught the other crew member, the orc, who was slowly drifting down because he was not nearly as cool as Turgon, even though he tried to be. Booterbot went racing up to the dragon because his shit, I don't know anything other to do than just race up to him, and I gotta race up to a dragon. So he went up there, dumped the contents of his alchemy jug, which was some poison from back in the day with Kali Lefort, and was basically fighting the dragon from inside of its head. We successfully burned all the dragon's legendary resistances and cast a spell that made it incapacitated and just fall to the ground. And so we raced behind it as it was falling down, preparing to kill this dragon. It smashed into the ground, did not die because it's an ancient dragon and wants to fall from the sky, right? And it rises up, it breath weapons the entire ship, it shoots these exploding orbs, and we are using everything we have to get it, and it takes all of us down. But the only reason we're alive is because one person was off the ship up in the dragon's face, and that was Booterbot. And Booterbot thunder waved inside of this dragon's head, and if only for Spencer saying yes to piercing damage from the teeth in the mouth was it enough to kill the dragon. Otherwise he had 1 hit point. And then Booter raced up, healed us all up in the most economical fashion so that no one would die. And around that time we look off in the distance and we hear the sound of Doomhand in our ears. Something along the lines of, "I'm coming for you," I believe.
Give or take.
But as the Amethyst Dragon slowly dies, the last remaining follower of the Sun God, as this island that we were on had smashed into the shoreline, the northern shoreline of the main landmass on Ardruven. As Isol died, the sun slowly dimmed in intensity a little bit. And that's where we left off.
That was actually pretty good for no nuts. The only thing that I would have changed differently was emphasizing Adam's jump, which was Mario-esque. It was insane. 45 minutes in the last episode. That might be one of the high points. That was hilarious. I feel like I just killed Adam, and he rolled a nat 20 and got it. It was insane. But, okay. So, Chris, last time you rolled towards the end of the battle, you rolled a history check. And that history check told you, because you and actually Jake are the only player characters to have a run-in with Doomhand and know firsthand experience-wise what he's looking for. And you know that the skulls he's looking for, you also know that he's trying to kill the gods by destroying the followers. So obviously, destroying the sun god's peoples, who knows how that's going to role play out, but he's got to have some sort of gratitude towards you. for that, but he's not your friend. You guys the ship is 90 feet in the air. I know you guys wanted to loot the dragon. There is dust still settling all around you from this huge impact from the island that fell. You are your northern region on Undravan. I showed you the map last time in our group chat. So you're towards the northern icy Arctic area. Part onshore, part offshore is where the island landed. So it's wet. There's dust settling from the battle. You can see that there are bodies, there's buildings, there's a lot of rock primarily. So this icy landscape I've made here is just representative of where you are. The surroundings around you would be quiet and waves crashing and water receding from where you landed. Now, over the group chat, you guys asked me about how far away Doomhand was. And math-wise, I was trying to work it out. He's about, if you can see his sails, which is what I would say would be an indication that your ability to identify who's sailing towards you, which would be his sails. Maybe he has a symbol that you guys have seen or something. He would be about an hour and a half away, math-wise, from where you are. So you have plenty of time, but you guys are very low on health. Brock has been trying to man the fort in the ship, keeping it all together, so he's fine. Jake, are you with us?
Yep.
And so Jake has pretty good health, and you guys are 90 feet up in the air, and there's a dead dragon carcass.
That will start to steer the ship down towards the ground, towards where the dragon carcass is.
Okay.
Doomhand's coming. We got to be quick.
Let's
But
hurry.
There's some good stuff on here. I'm sure of it. And we'll go to try and harvest or take parts of this dragon.
Call Brain.
I call Brain.
Sick fuck.
Yeah.
Hold on, you want... Stag is about to get a
Brain,
little weird.
euphemism for something too.
Call that Brain too.
I call all the brains.
So once we quickly chop off like a claw,
What?
I'm going to animate that claw to help it carry parts of the dragon.
You're hilarious. This is your claw. This
Okay.
pile of rubble.
I want to collect a couple scales to make improve my spiky shoulder pad somehow.
Okay.
Take a couple of claws if that's possible, and then we could figure it out later down the line.
Let's
No,
skip
we'll
the
do it.
head.
I put together a table for rolling. If you wanted random items, I was going to give
Ah.
each of you two. But I was also wondering,
Wait.
what if, for example, what if Adam wanted the eyeball, or like, what if you
Right.
guys
Yeah.
were zoomed in, I would just give you that item on that thing. So the scale is one of them.
Spence, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How we're within a minute of when the dragon died, right? Like
Yeah.
it just happened, right?
Yeah.
I just want to
Yes.
be clear about that.
Yeah, I imagine dropping down your ship and deloading. You're probably a couple minutes.
I need you to be very specific right now.
We could have been on the ground.
What are you
near
trying
them
to- what
really
the-
quickly?
I think a dungeon master
before I
should say,
tell
"What are
you
you
what
trying to
I'm-
do?"
Before I tell you what I'm trying to do, I'd like to know if it's been 1 minute or more or 1 minute or less since the dragon has died.
You were on the ground when the dragon died, right?
No, they were in the air.
When we were 90 feet in the air, and as the dragon died, we would dive down. So we would be on the ship next to the dragon.
Nat,
But
it's
if we're
been
on
more
the
than
ground-
it's been more than.
Never mind. Continue on.
But if you have something that goes 90 feet and you want to use it on your descent,
I don't.
Okay.
I had a whole plan I carved out over the last week, but I thought we'd be next to the dragon when he
Well,
died.
if you wanted to be next to it, I could have slow falled you, and you lower softly 60 feet and around.
he's
So
dead.
it could be
No.
down. You could jump off. I could get you right there. Something you
It's
need.
okay. Let's carve
All
up the
right.
dragon. Brock
So-
can get his gross brain out.
Let's do Adam first. Adam, your scale. So what would you like to do with these? You want to increase? You want to get like a scale for your weapons?
No, I wanted to basically put like dragon teeth instead of the spikes that I have on my
Okay.
shoulder pad.
Okay.
And I wanted to know if there was a way I could either increase the damage on the shoulder or apply like some kind of dot, like a damage over time or something.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
take whatever.
The tooth sharpened into a dagger. It cuts extra deep, dealing a bit more damage than normal. Let's give that to you. You get a +1 on your attack for your shoulder. And because it was a force dragon, you're going to get a 1d force damage. You just get an additional 1d4 force damage with your dragon tooth shoulder. Are you going to take the scale too?
I get penalized if I wear armor.
Okay.
So it would be like a flashy. I'm happy with extra damage on my shoulder.
Chris, what would you like to have?
I was just wanting to collect as many of the parts as we could.
Oh,
The head, the claw. Eventually, I want to pimp out this ship with
sure.
dragon parts to try and show how badass we are.
okay.
But try to get the heart if possible, because I know that's probably valuable.
All right. So the heart, Chris. Heart fire core. A glowing, still warm magical core from the dragon's chest. It can power your airship for several days, or be forged into a legendary weapon. One or the other.
Let's get
That's
it on
up
the
to
ship.
you. Yep, so that's what you're going to go
So
for
it's
the heart.
just like a legendary weapon.
And you're going to roll those a 1d4. If you would decide to do that, which you won't
Okay.
necessarily have to.
4 of days.
Yeah. I'm going to give you
It's not
guys
many.
some random rolls too. Matt, what focal point would you like to go for?
I think I would just be like I'm watching Doomhand's ship right now. I'm not focused on the dragon.
All right, you'll get 2 random
Yeah.
items. Okay, and Jake, would you like to roll for your random too? Or are you interested? You're interested in the brain.
Can I get the brain?
Yeah.
I'm as far away from the guy carving out the brain as possible.
Yes, you can get the brain. You cut open this dragon head, leaving it as Jake wanted, so that it can still be used on the ship for decorative purposes. But you take this brain, and what do you do with it? You get this massive brain. I would say it's like probably this big. What are you planning on?
I'm extracting brain and consuming.
So you're going to eat this thing? You have, and let me just get his name right. His name was Izel, I believe. Izel, the sun god, grew up on the island of Tankok, worshipping. His father was like the minister priest of the sun god, and you get flashes of his younger childhood, learning the sun trades and seeing his father do the rituals with the other gnomes. Flash forward, his father dies and you become the head of the sun gods. You have images of the crystal. You see him worshiping this crystal enough to become one with the god and almost become a avatar of the sun god, avatar-esque. And you have the ability to transform yourself into a dragon. Years go by of praising the sun, and nothing really changes much. You do hear murmurs and rumors of a madman on a crusade to kill the gods, but you're not really worried about that too much. And then you see the inevitable doom of the island crashing, and then you eating Booterbot and Booterbot shoving his sword through your head. With that, Jake, you are going to gain an item of some kind. We'll come back to you because I got to think about that for a second. Who hasn't picked their... Matt, do you want to roll for your item?
Yeah, I'll roll.
All right.
The claws
But
grab
I'm-
something.
All right. Everyone give me a roll.
I send Falco to pick up whatever.
Jake, you're going to get these 2 brain stems. They're going to act, and these are just going to be things that I just give you. There's no real mechanic to it, but you're going to be able to... Where the hell is the note for the brain stem? You're going to be able to... Sorry, not sorry. You're going to be able to block an incoming attack magically in a you're going to, one of these brain stems, if you were to throw it down on the ground, let's say, you're going to be able to create a force around you, which will be able to block any type of, not say magic, but any type of elemental or physical object coming in. So you're going to be able to null a physical attack around you, I would say 20 by 20 feet. So if you guys are in a close encounter and a fire exhales on you guys, Jake could, as a reaction, throw this thing down and nullify that attack. Just one time.
2.
Correct. That'll be your brainstem. Now everyone give me a roll of a d10. Matt, you're
I
gonna...
wanted to.
Yeah.
Wait, D10 you said?
Before we end
Yeah.
the looting of the dragon, I, as a wild barbarian, I also would like the liver, and I wanted to know if I can, like, I want to be able to use it, and I want it to give me something crazy. Like, I want it to be like a one-time use type of thing, and when I eat it, like, it's gonna do something crazy, and you can surprise me if you want.
We'll tell you what happens.
But I want it to be like, we're like dire
Yeah.
moment, like one
Yep.
of those situations.
That's
Okay,
fine.
cool.
You
Awesome.
turn blue.
Yeah, you roll a Constitution first, and you take two poison damage, or you become Superman. Don't roll. All right, everyone, roll me a 10.
5.
1.
All right. So 1, a small crystal that lets you mimic any voice you heard for a minute.
Okay.
All right, that's your. I split these tables up into role-playing items as well as the physical damage items. Jake, what'd you get? Jake, that was yours, right? You got a 1?
Yeah.
3 uses. So you can mimic your voice to make it sound like anyone else's. You get 3 uses. Let's go, Matt, what'd you get?
2.
A 2. Whispering Fang. A tooth that lets you
Ooh.
send a short thought to anyone you can see. They hear it in their head. Great for secret messages.
Excellent.
Unlimited. It's unlimited, but 1 sentence at a time. So you can't have a monologue. It's got to be 1 sentence at a time.
I like
Chris, what'd you get?
I got a 5.
5. Sparkling powder that, when sparkled in the air, makes NPCs more friendly towards you. Great. For 5 minutes. This will work once per day. Adam, what was your roll?
A 3.
A 3. A violet dragon scale that makes any NPC nearby suddenly burst into laughter for 10 seconds. Works once per day. Now, Matt, you're going to get some items. So I can read those back to
ready.
you, but we have them also recorded. Roll me
Okay.
2 d10s.
that would be 2 1s.
Excellent. You're going to get dense and violet. You're getting a dragon bone shard. Dense and violet streaked, can be fashioned into arrowheads that deal an extra 1d6 damage.
Okay.
And then the other 10 is going to be,
Just to be clear, they were 1s, not 10s.
yeah. You're going to get this thing called memory dust, which you can throw, I guess, from maybe from the remains of the brain. You're going to be able to cast sleep. And you got to write this
Yeah.
a DC 15 memory dust. You're going to be able to use this 5 times. Throw in the air to cast sleep on NPCs or anything you want. And as you guys are doing this, the time is ticking. I'll be fair with you and just say maybe a good 20 minutes has gone by.
Oh, we've been too long. Let's go.
Since going, does anyone want anything else? There is a complete wreckage scene. So you do not have to go back onto the ship if you don't want to go back onto the ship. I am prepared to go where you guys want. You can make this a water voyage. You can make
Wait,
it
can
a
we-
sky voyage. You
can we-
Yes. I would
Okay.
prefer- I would
And by a
prefer
minute,
that.
15 seconds.
This is a meta converse as to what you guys
Okay.
want to do, so it'll help me.
I still think we need to get the fuck away from Doomhand.
This spot.
That's just my personal opinion. I don't know
I
this
agree.
Doomhand guy. I'm not familiar with his work, but you guys seem terrified, and you guys are pretty tough. So I'd like to get away from him.
I'm not
Stag
terrified.
will say it's morphin time, and he's going to let his morphed armor come on
Morphin
And-
time, I freak the fuck out. I'm like, what
minute,
is
wait a
happening
minute.
right now?
You have these overpowered spells and you can morph? What is this?
We need to take a trip to
Yeah.
the Sage Island. It's a good place to hide out. I don't think Doomhand will look for us there.
Hang on. So,
And
I'm
it
gonna,
can
I
I'm
answer
pull
gonna,
out my Warhammer as he's morphing and I get ready to attack him. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I'm gonna
Let's get
RP
on the
this.
ship and get the fuck out of here.
Why are we so scared of this guy? I'm okay. I don't know much about Agoth Doomhand at all, and as a player, as a character, he's totally confused. Like, I heard he's a dwarf.
I hop on the boat. I'll tell you the tales of. I'll tell you the story of him.
Trying to kill this. Wasn't he pissed at this dragon?
I'll tell you everything. Just on the boat. I need to get away
All
from
right.
him. Bob is right.
My captain
Alright.
is saying get on the ship, so I follow him onto the ship.
I think y'all are racist against dwarves.
It's not. It has nothing to do with.
I whisper into Stag's ear after he's morphed, look, boss, I'm with you. And I'm with the other captain, but can we leave this xenomorph behind or whatever the fuck he is? He's
He's
brains over here.
he's
And I don't want
a,
him to hear me.
he's a chosen one, a chosen hero. As odd as it sounds, this was done to him. This wasn't how he was born. He was infected and he fought through and survived
Interesting.
and still has control of himself.
So he's cursed and he needs to be saved.
But he has something important to do before what needs to be done.
Okay. Just keep him away from me.
Who, Jake?
Yeah,
So Jake, roll.
all of that.
Yeah, Jake. For some reason, this new guy, Matt's cleric, does not like you very much, and it's personal. I would take it personally, probably because you're a ceramorph of some kind. Yeah, there you go. All right, so another 45 minutes has gone by.
Stack will use his claw hand to start picking people up and putting them on the airship
As carefully as you can. Okay.
and moving body parts and other parts of the dragon that we're taking with us as we start to fly off.
All right, 1 hour away would be one third of so 4 hours out, which is probably 100 feet per. You guys are fine. So you guys are gonna take off.
Yeah, I think we'd hang low to the ground,
Okay.
and if you guys are up for it, heading to the Skull Force Island.
Okay.
There's a skull there that can answer a lot more questions than I can.
Skull?
He's
Wow.
quite the right. He's a comedian. Golem.
Hilarious. You guys are probably. Who's navigating? Who's navigator?
I'm navigating, right?
Yeah, you're navigator. Roll me I guess an insight check. Let's just see if you know where you guys are.
10.
You know that it's cold. You're probably northern. You do know that you traveled northwest away from Trigard. You're in unfamiliar territory, and you're not 100% sure if this sea that you landed on is part of the sea. It's a different color. There's a lot more ice in it. So you're not 100% familiar. You just know that you're northern. But you do know that the climate of where you came from, and you do remember, was a lot warmer. So you could tell the group that you're quite some distance away from the Skull Force Ninja Tomb of Dead Sages is what it was called.
Tomb of Death Sages, thank you.
With that, you just let me know what you want to do.
I'll start heading on the coastline until you can get a better sense. Sprock.
All right.
Can this ship still fly?
Yeah, the ship has
Barely slow.
70 HP. You have no crew. It's just you.
Yeah.
So you have disadvantage on all ship actions. And the ship travels at 1/3
Normal speed.
its normal speed. Doomhand is gaining on you.
Can we attempt some repairs?
Stag is gonna tell someone to Bob, hold the wheel. Hold the state straight, follow the shoreline.
Yeah,
I believe in you.
I'm gonna go with Stag and start just taking directions from him and fixing stuff as quickly as possible.
Stag is just gonna start using mending wherever he can.
And be like, yo, there's another hole. Fix that one.
It's hilarious. You guys... So you're just going to cast mending?
Yeah, it takes a minute to mend up to a 1 foot break.
Is that a cantrip or a...
It is a cantrip.
Okay. And how much is it meant? It's up to my interpretation as to how much.
Spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, 2 halves of a broken key, a torn cloak, a leaking wineskin. As long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimension, you mend it, leaving no trace of the former damage.
How long are you guys going to be traveling is the next question while mending. Now keep in mind that Doomhand is on your tail.
I will be continually mending.
Okay. Jake, roll me a random aerial encounter. Doomhand is on your tail. He has gained, let's say, Chris, it's been 30 minutes. You are going to be at 90 HP, so it's been 20 minutes since you guys have been sailing. But do you guys you remember that your crystals on the
ship
also power the ship? So you're still hovering about 90 feet above the air. You guys have, I don't think, a lot of crystals left.
We had 13
before the fight.
And then we did like 3 barrages. Those are 2 each. That's 7.
Yeah.
I don't think we did anything else.
And then the time of the fight...
Oh, we boosted one, so 9.
And the time it took to do the fight, and the half hour you just spent doing stuff. So I would say that calling it 4 crystals left is fine, is more than fair. Now, Jake, give me a roll. You guys are like hovering around the... Are you going northern, or are you going... I guess you would be...
I don't think we have a sense of what's north or south yet. I think we'd just be going away from Doomhand.
Okay, so you're
along
traveling...
the coast.
Okay, all right. So you're traveling along the coast. Yeah, everything's icy. There's ice everywhere. You guys are only 90 feet in the air, so you can see as far as you can see. There are some larger mountains off in the distance, but there's snow cliff, and there's no real settlement that you can see from that far up. Not that there might be down there, but definitely disguised that they are. Jake, give me a D100 roll. I'm going to change the map to the aerial one.
65.
All right. So you guys are in the air, going along the edge, and oh, perfect. There's two ships. What are the chances there?
Do we see any of the wreckage from the other ship that I was on?
No, that would have been buried.
Okay.
No, because you landed above the. I'm sorry. You guys were going straight down. It would have disintegrated into the water. I would say.
That's
Not
fine.
Disintegrated, but
I was just trying to see
sunken.
if maybe there was like a hull or something.
Yeah, that time passed when you guys sailed away. But Doomhand is on your tail. Jake, what'd you get? A 65?
65.
All right. A malfunctioning wand
We're supposed to ask you that.
gyrating through the air and firing magic missile at random directions. All right, so you guys are trying
check again on that.
you guys are trying to quietly, discreetly come around. You come across this random wand and sparks shooting. Who's doing this steering here? Chris is downstairs healing. Jake, you're
Bob
up.
is at the wheel.
Bob is at the wheel. Bob, you're at the wheel. Jake, you are going to be rolling. You guys are going to roll together with it. So I'm going to roll 6 shots above a... And it's going to be... I guess a 6 will be pointed towards you. That's a 1. That's a 1. So 1's pointed towards you. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. This last roll. Come on, baby. Ah. All right. 1 shot of magic missile shoots in your direction, Jake and Adam, Bob, or Sprock and Bob. This thing is shooting off in all directions, and then it points towards you. Jake, you can see it point towards you. You guys will have a reaction roll with the ship, as you guys are the captains. So let's have the ship do. What would you gonna absorb the hit, or would you like to try to dodge the ship?
My steering, right? It's just one missile,
Just magic missiles.
but it's just one, right? Yeah,
All right. Do you,
What's our ship health at?
it's in the 90s.
Well, any healing
you're
that
at.
I've been able to
you're-
do with mending.
It was 20 minutes. It's at 90 now.
Okay.
I start talking exactly like Sean Connery in Hunt for Red October, and I'm just like, hunker down.
Okay. So the ship absorbs 1d4, and you get 3 damage. So now you're down to
87.
Chris. You're mending this thing. You see a big flame. Jake, roll me another d100.
What the hell's going on out there?
14.
14.
I scream out, I'm a scout, not a pilot.
Your guys are coming away, and Doomhand is still gaining on you. A swarm of sprites make a huge signal patterns into the fading evening light. So you see that it's getting darker. Let's say another half hour has passed. Chris, you're down there mending away. I'm going to give you exhaustion. Why don't you roll me a Constitution save?
Okay.
And because you're down there just blasting away your cantrip for an hour.
Natural.
You are awake, and you will pass your next pass because of that. You're just fucking so happy you're healing the ship.
I'm so happy I'm alive.
I'll give the ship another 20 there, so you're at 107 HP for the half hour that went
Nice.
by. Jake, you look over past out the side of the ship, and you see the sprites, these magical soul-looking things, floating off in the distance, and they're all making a pattern. They make one pattern you recognize, which you will be able to tell me what that is, and they also make a pattern of an arrow, which is pointing gently up. Not up directly, but angled upward. What was the pattern that Sprock saw in the sky that you recognize? You can do your own world building here, Jake.
What was the pattern?
Yeah, you see a pattern in the sky that only Sprock would recognize, and you see another arrow pointing upwards. After that,
From the pattern. I think that I remember that pattern from one of the brains that I ate. But I'm pretty sure it was from a helping friend. So I think we should follow it.
so you see a pattern from one of the brains that you ate.
Yeah.
Okay.
The pizza guy?
After we killed him, we realized that he actually wasn't evil. And he was trying to help us. Matt's former character had tied him up.
Matt, who is this guy? I gotta get for brain purposes. Jake,
I've never tied any
Jake.
characters up. I would never do such.
Jake, in the real world gameplay that we're playing, I'm gonna have this in the back
Oh,
of
are
my
we
head.
metagaming? So
In my mind, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I guarantee you it comes out during the episode. And Sprock, you see this image of something from a brain that you ate from one of the last characters that died, tying up, and you're trying to think, what is that? Why is that meaning so important? Can't wait to figure out who it is.
I don't know, say that we follow the arrow.
You gonna communicate that to the group?
That's right.
I'm mending.
The captain. So I want your input.
I trust you, Navigator.
Great. I go tell Bob.
Okay.
I immediately go to the stag and I say, "Is this what we're doing?"
Yes, I confirm.
Okay.
Leave
we're-
me fucking alone. I'm trying to repair the ship. Just fucking get us out of here.
Booterbot's
Okay.
also repairing the ship.
Is Sentinel Sentinel?
But repairs.
Yeah, he's doing repairs.
You can
He's
certainly
just a
turn it on.
stupid robot.
But while a stag is repairing, he is going to be telling everyone the story of Agoth Doomhand, how Agoth Doomhand happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. He was chosen by some gods to make a decision that he couldn't win. He chose the wrong god as the most beautiful, and the others cursed him to die and to see his family die and to be reborn. And now he dies and is revived after some time, and then when he dies again, he's revived again. And he has an army of undead that's killing the world, killing all the gods' followers, because he believes that if the gods have no followers, the gods have no power, and eventually he'll kill and destroy all the power that is causing the magic of his curse. And that's his hope, is that once he kills all the gods, they'll have no more power and he can finally die and be with his family. He is a Skull Force ninja as well. He is the Black Ninja. And he has a tie, I believe, after my research, to the Black Skull of the Skull of Power. Not really a good guy, and it's terrifying as he comes up behind us. I just hope that we can lose the tail and find some place to at least catch a breath. And during that whole story, he's going to slowly be casting over 10 minutes use his inspiring leader feat to give us all 17 temporary hit points.
Okay.
I'm sorry to metagame, but temporary hit points don't stack, right?
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
But you can choose which one you take. So if one's higher, you can take it.
Are you guys going, now that you guys have had this conversation, what's your take on what you should be doing here? Are you going up? Where are you sailing to? And then I'm going to have you guys roll some...
Oh, can we have better of an idea of where we are?
Yes, you are... The coast is curving a little bit. Brock and Jake, give me a history check.
Yeah.
20.
Okay, wow. You recognize the symbol of Brock? Remember Brock way back when you guys were at his kingdom? Adam, during that session, Chris's character convinced Brock to go on a crusade spreading the name of Talos throughout his whole kingdom, even though he didn't believe in Talos. So he's been executing everyone in the name of Talos. They left the kingdom of Brock through a portal to the Underdark. That portal remains somewhat mysteriously. We don't know if it's active or not. You recognize that area probably is the Kingdom of Brock, off a massive island. It's probably the size of Hawaii in the distance. Adam, give me a roll for... We're going to roll a random flight condition. Give me a D100 roll.
89.
You enter into a pocket or a layer of rejuvenating air imbued with positive radiant energies. So the ship just feels a lot warmer. As you guys are looking over this Brock Island, it feels really warm and there's a certain energy vibe. The creatures that require breathable air take longer to become fatigued and exhausted and recover from their injuries faster. So I will give everyone 14 HP healing with this cloud that you guys just randomly flew through. Undead, however, must make a fortune or constitution save for each hour of traveling in this. So you guys are going through this sort of whirlwind of like magic, which just seems to be floating there. Who knows why?
Do we have any undead with us? No.
No.
Is Jake
glad.
undead?
Doomhand is undead.
Hey, real quick, if I leveled up last game, I got my HP back, right?
Oh, you have to take a long rest to get
Yeah.
the level up to take effect.
Doomhand's ship seems to be flying towards... He's continuing to follow you.
Through that cloud?
He's hovering really far away.
He's so far away.
So what are you guys doing? Are you guys going up? Or are you guys trying to...
Is this place safe to hunker down in? Do you think we could lose him here?
Yeah.
We can like freely converse because he's not actually close to us right now.
No, he's not.
Okay, so I say we draw him in, and then we hit the brakes, watch him go by us, and then we accelerate in the other direction.
Oh my
I like
God.
it.
I love how ballsy it is.
We can
That's
conserve
so
all our
ballsy.
energy, all our power, and we make
we-
him think he's gonna catch us.
But then we burst in the opposite direction.
We got to go as fast as we can in the opposite direction.
Now,
Hit the brakes and watch him fly right by.
you do have the island crystal, the ethereal crystal that you stole from...
Yeah,
That's right.
we could pop up to the middle cloud layer.
My suggestion would be we either go as high as we can or as low as we can.
Jake's vision that he had with thinking really hard about the vision of the sprites in the sky. He's been combing through his memory, trying to figure out this guy, and he was like, was it this guy's brain I ate? No. Was it this guy's brain I ate? No. Then he went through all the brains he ate. He even went through poor Isel's brain that he just ate, or no, his little like assistant. What the hell was that guy's name? Yeah, Isel. Isel was the priest. No, I'm sorry, Jake.
Yes.
I must have. Peller is the god. So the dead priest, who knows? Maybe he didn't even have a name. We'll call him Danny. Danny was Peller's assistant priest, grooming him to become, because he didn't have a child. Anyway, he's tripped over Matt's spear that he was propping open the door and fell on the ground, and that's when Jake attacked him and ate his brain. He remembers that Jake remembers seeing a vision of this crystal being used in a ship just like this, and knows that this crystal can actually power the ship past the first level of sky upward if they get to a certain height, to the next, what we will call the middle sky region. I've created this world where the sky has different zones and layers, just like the Underdark. And sometimes, just like in the Underdark, creatures and inhabitants don't know of the Upper Dark or Middle Dark or Lower Dark. So just like that, there are these magic, or maybe it's gravity for those of you who believe in science, that sort of stop the ships from sailing too high, and you need a little extra oomph to get through to the next layer. And that crystal you found on the island and stole from the dragon, Jake, you know the crystal can get you there if you want to. That symbol, though, in the sky is still burning a hole in my head. What are you talking about?
I'll dig that out too. I think we should.
I was just trying to say you guys have options.
Instead of trying to do the flyby, just
If
try
you
and
do
see
that-
how high it can go.
It could be a backup. It could be a backup.
Well,
I feel like we would need that for the other plan. But we can do a different plan. We have some time to plan right now.
I like the plan. It's very let's hide and repair and then blast the fuck out of here. And it feels.
I still have some spell slots. I could potentially cover us in darkness to cloud our initial movement.
How long is a long rest?
8 hours.
We're not doing any
Do
rest.
A short.
I don't.
We're gonna be working our ass off.
Dude, just start going towards him.
No, we'd go towards the ground.
I would say my theory was we would gradually slow down at an indiscriminate amount. So I don't want to slow down too much, because then Doomhand's smart enough to know something's up. So like we gradually slow down and start conserving energy to the point where he's not suspicious. So we start gathering all our resources, and the second he's within striking distance, we do everything we can to cloud our next movement, and we blast off in a different direction.
Quick question, Spencer. Do we burn crystals just driving?
Yeah. You guys are about to be going through. You know, that number 4 crystal doesn't look like it's probably more than halfway through.
So I think that to expand on Matt's idea, we could pretend like we are disabled in some way.
Yes, I love it.
Oh,
That,
get him to land and get off of his ship.
yeah, or we could steal. What if we stole his ship?
I love it. I'm so in on this idea. Let's
This is-
definitely steal his ship.
All right. Level 20 wizards coming
Oh.
up.
Maybe stealing his ship
hold on,
isn't
hold
the
on.
best idea.
I don't.
But I'm down for it.
If this is a totally bad idea, Chris,
Trying to steal his ship, I would say, would be a bad idea.
I feel like fooling him that our ship is damaged is a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yes.
yeah, like we could we could literally go down to 25% speed, and
We could start some like controlled fires to make it look like there's smoke coming out from behind us.
that
Yeah,
might be
can't
a
you
little
make a fake?
Okay.
What is it? What is that spell? Thaumaturgy? Where you can like,
Yeah, dermatology?
where you can shoot some like sparks in the air to make it seem like. Oh, I don't.
Do we have any secondary ships? Life rafts?
No,
we
definitely,
don't have any of that.
definitely
Okay.
not. I can't wait to put a fire on your ship, though.
No, I'm just saying, I feel like if we start now, he's an hour away, right? We decrease
Yeah.
our speed by 5% every minute so that it's not noticeable to Doomhand that he's catching up to us. He just thinks he's great. I'm so good, my ship is the best. And then he's all of a sudden on us. We spend the next 30-ish minutes planning how we're going to use all of our power to go a different direction, both including smoke screens of some kind, potential fake fires, anything we got.
Are you guys going to levitate upwards? I will be playing this. I will be playing this as I will be
Ruthlessly.
playing.
So if we're going up, the big crystal's only gonna get us through that last bit. So we have to be able to get all the way up to the barrier before he can gash us.
Okay, but I would say if we're going down, he's gonna think we're like it's more effective as a tricking maneuver because he'll think our ship is failing.
Here's the question.
If we're going up, he's gonna know we have power. Yeah.
Just use sail power.
If
Okay.
Doomhand is on the ground near us, is it gonna be faster? Is he gonna catch us faster from that point, or if we just start going up now? Because how far away does he look?
I thought he was about an hour away.
Probably like a tiny dot on the horizon.
He was close enough at the very beginning of this. He was close enough for you guys to read his sails. So he was that. But according to my math and flat world versus round world, which I was going to do in the middle because we haven't decided whether or not this world is flat or not. It was about 6 hours away, traveling at 60.
Power.
So yeah, at like sail power. But that means it was. I think it was 5,200 feet away, which is like a couple miles.
Wait, but
No,
we
5,280 is one.
Yeah, so then it was. I can pull up the map.
Wait, we blew 20 minutes on the dragon, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Roughly.
Yes.
Yeah, he was 9 miles away. I would say that you guys have been traveling for quite a bit, and he's gaining on you. He'll probably be 6 miles away at this point.
We have healed the ship anymore.
If you're working double time,
Forget healing the ship. All preparations need to be made for rocket blast.
The ship goes slower if it's not healed up.
Was that true? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, this is why you're the captain.
Chris, you have this is exactly why you're the captain.
I'm a craftsman from now on.
This guy's the captain for a reason.
The captain has said, okay, so Chris, I'll give you the 150, which brings you up past half, which means that you don't have any negatives on
Speed.
so you feel like the ship
Okay.
is put together at this point, perhaps ready for some sort of encounter.
I think we can outrun him up to the middle sky if we just go up. Go up, maybe burn one of these crystals to boost. Give a little goose on it. Maybe throw him off. Make some fires and barrels and just have some smoke billowing out from behind us. He's already tracking us. Make it look like we're going down, but we're making a last-ditch effort.
My idea is to basically slow down and just sail speed, and then when we see him, straight up burn 2 crystals, like bam,
all
right
the
away.
crystals.
Create some kind of a diversion to where he can't see, like enough smoke and shit to cause him enough where we can actually go upwards.
What are you trying to gain?
We're trying to draw him in to then.
To
I
gain
feel like
what?
I'm saying is he's faster than us, right? If we go at our base speed and he goes at his base speed, he'll catch us eventually.
Does it seem that way now?
It does, because he's gaining on us.
But
Well,
that's 'cause we're
he
injured
was
and we're-
gaining when our ship was injured.
Fair enough.
Moving below optimal speed because we were injured.
Does it seem like we're able to keep pace now?
That crystal downstairs seems to be deteriorating though, because you
Or keep cruising?
keep.
At the end of the day, Chris, we've got now 3 crystals left, essentially. And probably got a lot more, so he will catch us whether we like it or not.
But like we're trying to gain time or distance from him, right?
Yes.
What's the whole
Or no.
whole point of doing the stop and then run?
Not even stopping.
We can't. What,
Right,
on
we're
the
not.
water?
We can't burn his fuel supply.
Yeah. Are we trying to get all the way up to the middle sky?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let's just go now.
We start on a steady decline and just try and beat him.
Yeah, try and beat him. Hope that he doesn't have a greater crystal that can burst through there.
Look, we stole a crystal that was holding up a whole civilization. There's gotta be some extra power in there.
That's what's going to get us to the middle. That's what I think he might not have. I think if we can get to the middle, I think we could break free of him.
But then I would say we would do the same plan without waiting. We burn everything we got to get as far away as we can right away.
How close are you guys going to let this guy get to you?
Right now, we're not saying... What Chris is saying is we wouldn't let him get close. We would just try and keep as much distance as possible.
And beat him to the middle sky.
But I just remembered that Spencer said this is a level 20 wizard.
Yeah.
Do we want to risk stopping? Like, I think Chris might be onto something. I liked your idea, but now that I remember that he's a level 20 wizard, I don't know.
But also,
Very
Chris,
strong
can I ask you,
wizard.
what makes him not able to get to the middle?
The only way we can get there is with that massive crystal that was holding up an entire island.
And we're just going to have to assume that he doesn't have one.
What's our other escape plan?
I just said, what's our other option?
I'm going with what we got in front of us.
All right, then I say
If we have other options, just keep
a-
going what we're doing,
a
and then if there's
40-ish minute head start, and we're moving at our optimal speed. If we want to just try and outrun him, I say we do the smokescreen plan. Like, we can still enact that, right? Anything
Yeah.
we were going to do to try and throw flares behind us or whatever the equivalent
Yeah.
of that is still works.
I like
And
it.
then we just try and burn rubber.
Try and
So when he
find a
gets
big
closer-
cloud.
What you saying?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can go at a normal rate.
or going as
Okay.
fast as we can go.
Are you extending upwards, or are you...
I would say it's wait until we get to a big cloud, and then go behind it, go straight up, so that he doesn't know that we've turned until we're
Okay.
going in
Is
that
there
direction.
a sun? Wait,
Yes, pretty much night at this point, but there is a moon, which looks super weird. Give me
I
a...
was going to say, can we head towards the sun? Can we mask ourselves in the
Brightness
sun?
of the sun.
You want to
Yes.
sail in the sun, but you
Is-
can...
Well, I
try
don't
to
want to
do
go
that.
to the sun, but
You
I'm
can
just saying,
try
like,
to do that in the moonlight and silhouette.
Moonlight seems like the opposite of the right idea. It's-
Matt, give me a roll of a D100. Let's let the dice help you here.
See what time of the day. It's nighttime.
We got a
We don't have a sun now.
72.
72. Rapidly rising clouds are composed of churning wisps of superheated steam and boiling water. Caution must be taken to prevent severely scalding burn. So there's a bunch of clouds that come up in front of you guys, and you see the steam rising from them.
Perfect distraction.
That's perfect.
No, let's go. If we go in, we're gonna get
Certain-
fucked.
There's certainly...
Yeah, we could potentially make it through. Like you're
But-
sailing through an asteroid field, right? Like we could take our chances.
Let's do it.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we use a burst to try and get through this.
Yes.
You want to burn one already? All right.
This is our escape. We're going to try and get through this as fast as
So
possible.
what are you going to go straight through this
Um,
cloud?
Try and avoid as much as we can.
So you guys
Well,
are going to go head on
it's-
into this huge, massive cloud? That's fine.
It's the obvious way to go.
You can go underneath it and try to do a deception. See if he...
Hug it, and then right behind it, shoot straight up.
Okay. So he's behind you. He's about 6 miles out. The ship is getting larger every second. You guys are going to fly underneath it. Let's do a group deception.
Okay,
It's-
as we start that, I'm going to cast Circle of Power.
What is that?
That's a 5th level spell. An aura radiates around me in a 30-foot emanation for the duration of 10 minutes. While in the aura, our allies have advantage on saving throws against spells and any magical effects.
Nice. Okay. Because you guys are on the ship and it's unmanned, just you guys are going to give me a group deception check. And instead of being disadvantaged because of Matt's aura, it'll be a regular one.
I
Oh, I
rolled
got a
two.
23. Nice.
Let's go!
Bring
20.
the averages down.
20, 23, 2
It's perception, right?
deception. You need to give a 15 or...
I only got a 5.
Okay.
120 counts for 5 20s, though, right?
What's your total?
That's 12 and a half.
It's only 21.
Oh, so 21.
The natural 20, but it's 21.
And Matt, Jake, you got a 5.
Yeah.
We failed.
You got a 13. We'll round up. So you guys are hovering in this mist, or right underneath it, but he seems to... Nothing changes. He's still on your ass. But the only thing that separates you now is this hot, steaming... You don't know if it's like... It's hot and steaming because there's vapor and it feels warm. I guess I'm assuming you guys are riding it right underneath it.
But he's got to make it
moist.
through that too, boys, so don't worry.
Yeah. Once we see a patch of clear sky above us, straight up, I'd say make our distraction and we'll aim it straight up and go straight up to the sky as fast as we can.
All right. In this time period, you're going to hear a big crackle and a boom, and Doomhand's ship starts to speed faster towards you. He's on your ass now, and it looks like he's gaining speed. You guys are hovering underneath, trying to figure out your way of going. Let's roll Adam. Actually, you know what we'll do, Jake, because you're the navigator. Jake, it seems that the clouds are fading, the steam feels a little less moist, and the open air is right in front of you. Roll me another D100 to see what the air has, what the element is around, or I guess
80.
essentially, yeah, 80. The air opens up and you feel a nice breeze. And all of a sudden, this is hilarious, copper coins begin to fall from the sky. The deck starts getting hit. Doomhand's ship is gaining on you. I would say it's probably close to 3 miles away. He's not too far. He's not dangerously close, but would you guys like to burn your thing, or where are you going?
Are we able to go up yet?
You can go in any direction you want. You're on a ship.
Yes, there
Copper coins are falling from the sky every which way. So any action on the ship is going to be at disadvantage, but so is his. And yeah, you can go up if you want. No, that had disadvantage.
to go to try and force him to go around it or go through it.
One more of your crystals is gone.
Okay.
So you guys are ascending now.
As fast as we can.
And you're going to see Doomhand's ship start following you.
Is it going through the steaming cloud?
It is going to be going through the steaming cloud.
Okay. Do we want to use one of our crystals to go fast?
Sure.
Alright. Hold on. Not to the rail.
Are you trying to go... What are you trying to do to ascend to the...
We're trying to get all the way to the barrier to get to the middle dark until we can burst the big crystal.
Burn that. Burn your rubber, Chris. Burn your rubber. Who's putting the crystal in?
It's not me. That'd normally be Booter, but...
Booter can do it.
Turgan, shove the crystal
Turgan.
in.
Okay. Deviation from this?
I don't think so. Those are like standard crystals. But any other crystal that you have, you'll have to roll some stuff for.
Okay.
Alright, so you guys flare, the ship goes, you guys boost, you use your boosting skill, which was what? I think it was Overburn. You guys are going to use one full crystal to boost. So you go 100 miles really quickly. Up to 100 miles. And you guys are ascending. Now, how high in our world is the first layer? Like, you have the commuter flights that can fly in the ozone. Then I think it's 14 miles. Is that right?
So it's about 30,000 feet is where commercial planes fly.
Yeah. When does it become thin air where you can't like do shit?
What the very top is space, right?
Yeah.
So if you go like 60,000 miles up, most things need pressurized suits or other breathing apparatuses to go up that high.
So the here it is.
Because then you still have room for above that for space.
Troposphere is 10 miles, so you're able to burn this thing a lot, going straight up, I'm assuming, at an angle straight up. So you have more power to it, but as you ascend, you're going to have to roll me these shards of copper that are hailing. Everyone give me a deck save. They become almost like they are flying bits, almost like bullets. You guys are going so
with
fast.
advantage on the deck. 21.
You just take those, they just beat right off you. You don't care. It's like little bug bites. Jake,
A
what'd you get?
13.
11.
Everyone's rolling with advantage.
I rolled 11 and a 12.
Yeah.
Or 12 and a 13.
Oh, hold on.
11.
Okay, those of you who failed of the 15 check, you guys are going to take 3 piercing damage from the shards, and then let's say, Adam, give me one more D100 for see what the air is like up top. As the ship gets up to the top, you feel like a force in front of it, boom, and the whole ship shakes, and you can't. It seems like the ship can't get any higher.
Use the big one.
11.
11. As the ship is like hitting and being pulled back and moving forward and being pulled back, something like either like a gravity field or some sort of magic stopping you from breaking that layer in your troposphere, which I'll come up with a better Doom-hand name for it later on. But with a 11, a microburst is a localized column of sinking air downdraft within a thunderstorm, and it's usually less than or equal to 2.5 miles in diameter. Wind suddenly pushes you towards the ground. If flying at a low altitude, a DC check for crashing. So all of a sudden, a whirlwind wraps around almost like an eye of a small hurricane. It starts to whirl around, but you don't see it. It's just a downdraft. It's sucking the ship downward towards the land.
Put the big one in. Just put the big one in. That's gonna get us up.
That's hilarious. Adam, if you're gonna put that big one in, you gotta roll me a save or two.
Okay. Big jokes are the best jokes.
Let's do. This is gonna have to be a group as well, I think. All right, so you guys are you using this one crystal in the holder down in the engine room. You put this thing in. This is the Sun God's island of Tancock crystal that you put in the ship, and the ship drops a little bit because of the downdraft, and all of a sudden it just starts to power through and push and shoot something of a force that you have never felt before, the speed at which you can't even contemplate. But you guys are trying to break through the barrier, so everyone's going to have to give me a group strength check on the ship, and then we're going to have some fun role play real quick.
Oh, hey.
Sure.
Then we get advantage, right? Bob?
That is correct. It's a saving throw. I
How long did that last?
10 minutes.
It's a check, not a saving throw.
Fair enough.
A 17.
17. What about
16.
16?
3.
I don't know. There might be some negative shit coming to your ship here.
I rolled a 13. I'm sorry. I read the wrong. It was a 13.
13
Still
plus
probably not
14
good.
plus 16 plus 17. Wow, exactly 15. The ship shoots through force. So the ship had previously been trying to get through, almost knocking against this invisible force field, but the crystal that you use gives you enough energy to shoot through. The whole the whole sky, even though it's dark, turns bright white, and everyone is going to have a moment of thought. As you break through these layers in the sky, that's what's going to happen. Roll me a d12, Matt.
Trade T12. We got a 3.
A 3. You recall a feast where you ate so much pie that the baker crowned you dessert king or queen for the night. Stag has that memory of you. Stag, roll me a d12.
I get the memory of
You get the memory of
Matt.
winning
pie.
winning the pie contest. Adam, you get Stag's memory. You remember chasing a chicken through a market as a child and somehow winning of the fastest bird wrangler ribbon.
Seems right.
Good job, dude.
NPCs still remember you as the chicken champion. Adam, roll me
It's hard to
a
break that name.
Adam, roll me a d12.
Sir. Oh, no. You stand.
9. You recall a time, now this Stag, a Sprock, you have this memory of Adam. You look down, you're this big, massive dwarf. You recall a time you tried to sing at a tavern, failed miserably, but everyone clapped anyway. Must have been some sort of like barbaric, like chanting of you just slaughtered something. An NPC bard may later teach you the song from that night. So you remember that a bard came up to you at some point asking you telling you to teach you a song. And then Sprock, roll me your d12.
It is a 5.
Adam, you see yourself as a... Wait, or is this Matt's characters having this thought?
I think this would be me at this point.
Matt, what'd you get, Jake? A 5?
5.
Matt, Brock, not as a Ceramorph. You see him as a part elf, part Underdark druid. Yeah, you see him as an elf, like an elf druid, not as a Ceramorph. You see yourself dancing wildly at a festival, wearing a ridiculous mask. There was an NPC there who was there the night before, and then later recognized your mask and was watching you dance. Creepy. So you guys have those memories of each other. So you guys can role play that out now or a later point in time. As you break through, it's the same looking sky. You can still see the land masses below, but everything instead of blue has a pinkish hue to it. And you guys have just entered what we will call the middle sky.
The pink hue.
Like a tomato.
It is. There's. Yeah, like a tomato. It smells like a unclean tomato. That's hilarious, Jake. Notes on that. Jake's read it. The area around you is hard to breathe. You can still breathe. It's lighter, but your ship seems to travel a little bit faster. As you guys are sailing, the ship and the crystal dies down. Keep in mind now that you only have
2 crystals left.
Two crystals left, so that's something that you're going to have to deal with. You do see, though, that the middle sky area, unlike the one you had just passed, which was full of weather and there were only a few floating islands that you ran into, this seems to be more condensed. So on a fake flat world, it's not a globe where everything's even and you have infinite sky. As it gets bigger, as you go up, you still have the curved atmosphere, but it's smaller, tighter, which means that there are going to be places there that you can travel to that are closer together, I guess. Everything's more condensed. So with that, you can see, and because now I know the knowledge of sight and whatever radial things are of the eye that I looked up and how to figure out distance from like your eyeball, you do see that there are 2 large floating structures off in the distance. One of them seems to be uninhabited. Another one seems to have buildings and whatnot on them, and they are probably the same distance away from you guys as Doomhand was.
Do they look big enough where we can land the ship on it?
They're massive in comparison
Okay.
to I would say it's probably about 4 or 5 times the size of Tancock.
Okay. Maybe. How far are these 2 islands apart from each other?
Probably, I don't know. Roll me
Are they close to each other, but they're like a good distance away?
They wouldn't. You get the feeling like, first off, the one is uninhabited for some reason, but they are not. There's no like bridges or anything like that. They're like way far, miles and miles
Okay.
away from each other. So essentially, which one would you guys like to?
We probably
your
need
plan?
supplies and information, right? You want to head to the inhabited one? If anything, we can get some protection in numbers. Does that sound?
That sounds good.
All right. Yeah, we'll fly to the inhabited one
Okay.
and see if there's a place that we can land to try and save some crystal.
Okay, give me a second while I try to figure this out.
Good.
Trying to figure out where our world building thing was, Chris.
Those islands?
Yeah. I'll draw it on the tabletop so you can see it, and I'll just make your ship super teeny. So as you get closer to this large island, you do see that there are a couple ships coming your way, but they don't seem to be focused on you. They are passing. Other ships are flying in all directions. It seems to be some sort of commuter post or large settlement. As you get closer, let me see, that this island is actually made up of several smaller floating islands. There is where's the image? There it is. Here we go. There's actually, I believe it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 floating islands. There's one large one, which is, I'll draw this in black for you guys. So this is you have a massive floating island in the middle. There are 3 on the left side, and I'm assuming you guys are going to be coming in from over here. I'll just draw the arrow.
Oh.
There's one island floating above the main island in the middle there. There's one off on the underneath. There's another one on the side. This one's shaped like a sickle, and then there's one over here. So you guys will be sailing in this way. So you see that all these islands are floating there. They all seem to be shackled to one another with either ropes of some kind or chains of some kind. You're not exactly sure. And as you get closer, there are ports. In particular, there are ports on the one that's shaped like a tusk.
This one?
Yes. Which would actually be up to you.
Yeah, it's the closest one.
Be nice.
All right, aerial weather. Jake, give me a roll. A 1d100.
E100 coming up.
An elfling riding a horseless flying chariot, leaving fairy tracks as it moves, wisps by you, turns around, and comes over towards your ship. An elfling.
Hello there. Are we able to dock over here? Are you the harbor master?
My name's
Majik.
Majik.
Captain.
Where are you guys from? Your ship seems to be, for better for worse, looks pretty beat up.
We did just kill a dragon. Pointing to the skull with a hole for the brain.
Majik's gonna say,
He's spilling the beans right away, huh?
Never seen one of those. You must be from outsiders. Beware, be forewarned. Rules are very important on this island. No mischief. No mischief. But welcome. Welcome to the Sky Kingdom.
Oh, we're in the Sky Kingdom.
The Sky Kingdom of... Fuck, I forgot the name of it.
The Sky Kingdom Big Bush?
The Sky Kingdom of Boosh.
Boosh.
B-O-O-S-H. The Sky Kingdom of Boosh.
It's
Welcome.
quite big.
I like it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Would you guys like to make a deal?
We just need to get docked for right now. Maybe come find us when we get a drink.
My name is Majik. I am a tradesman. I come out here for
a deal.
I sell trinkets and maps and things of all kinds.
Oh, do you have time to cruise
I
with
do
us
not.
as we dock?
I do not. Deal now or forever hold your peace. There are many of ships
what's the
that
deal?
might want these maps I have. I could sell you this map of the Kingdom of Boosh for, let's say, one of those. He points towards one of the scales on the dragon.
How many scales do we have?
One for one.
Well,
Unless
how
you-
many do we have on the dragon?
You've got the whole dragon.
We
Can
can
spare one.
Perfect. Would you like to have two? Two for...
2 maps?
Can I see this map before you sell it to us?
Sure. He mage hands it over, and it's a map of... Well, he opens it up. What would you like to do? You just want to see what it says?
Nice.
When you go to Washington, D.C.?
I will cast guidance on you because I see you starting to look at it closer.
Alright, so...
What
that
do your
is-
dwarf eyes see?
So I got a 6. Alright, so... I put... Okay, let me RP this. So I rolled an 8, but I'm gonna quickly realize that I don't know what the fuck this thing says. So I'm just gonna do an intimidation and be like, this is real, right? You're not selling us fake shit with a 17.
Yes! Let me see if he's intimidated. So it would be my charisma versus, or my wisdom? Chris, how would you do an intimidation
You just roll
versus?
again.
Typical frightened saves would be wisdom.
He rolled a 8, and I would assume that he has like a +2.
Oh!
Yeah. Yes, of course. This is real. This is very real. These maps have been used for years. Please.
Okay, just checking.
He's gonna
Been through some shit.
mage hand his way over and take one of your dragon.
If we open up this map, what does it say that the name of that port is? Or how's that port labeled on the map?
It has an elephant head drawn on it, and it said Port of. I hate you, Chris.
You're welcome. I love you too, Spencer. You love the world build.
Yeah, it's the port of.
Then-
Yeah. Oh, it's Tuskington Port.
Tuskington.
Tuskington Port.
Oh,
Also,
great.
home of the Loxodon.
Oh, wait. I'll look around for Booter for everyone. I'll wait till Majik is gone before revealing some information to the rest of the group.
Majik says, "Any more deals? You can always just ask for Majik. Good day."
Day to you. Once he's far enough away, one of the sages for the White Skull, I believe, was a Loxodon. The rumors in the books say that the sage is reborn as a Loxodon. So maybe we could talk to them, find out some more information while we're up here. They might be able to shelter us too from Doomhand.
Interesting.
Get down to port, get some rest.
Port Tuskington. You guys are going to pull up similarly to the way that you pulled up to the floating island of Tancock before you absolutely destroyed it. And you're going to land there.
Allegedly
Allegedly.
destroyed it?
Yeah, allegedly. You're going to see... How do I visually do this? You're going to see there are no walls. Not like Tancock where there was a gate. You dock your ship. It's a lot quite larger than I drew out. This place is huge. So you're essentially on an island the size of Tancock, which is attached to several other islands the size of Tancock, attached to a massive island. And on this island of Tuskington, it is primarily filled with Loxodon walking around. And there's housing on it. There's trade ports, it seems like the area. And as you pull up to the dock, there happens to be large wooden poles where you can just drive your ship up and it'll hold. So as you come in, you see a Loxodon waving you in, and these poles shoot out from underneath some sort of mechanics in the docking station and slide up, and you feel the wood rub up against your ship and hold it in position, and you see a Loxodon take his tusk or hands and signal to you to cut the engine.
Pull the crystal.
Okay.
Just pull the crystal. We're stopping.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. And I think
This
yeah, and I think you guys can do your long rest now on your own boat if you want, or you can go and explore the town. I do not have anything planned for this town at the moment, and I want to give it my all, so I think now is the time to call the session.
Nice.
You can do your long rest,
Yeah.
leveling up your stuff. Jake, your character sheet while we're here, and I'll give you guys a full drawn-out map of where you are, because I haven't done that in a while, or if not ever. You guys have always just been exploring randomly, so I'd rather give you guys a map full of insights and stuff, so you guys can just look at it and just know where you want to go and what you want to do.
Let's mess Spencer's world up even more now.
Roll high and subscribe.